Hello, everybody. It is me, Antonio Q. Tomasello, aka Chocolate Heat, here once again to give you a slice of chocolate cake. If you never listened to my podcast before, Chocolate Cake is a podcast about my everyday surroundings, my thoughts, and the things that affect me as a person, an individual. May I have an opinion on it or not? It's just pretty much something I just like to talk about, just special subjects that I think about throughout the week. And this week for episode 11, I thought I would go over something that for me was a very important to me when I was young. That's still, of course, a phenomenon, but it was the epitome of my childhood. It's where a lot of memories came from. So let's get into it. Episode 11 today is Pokemon. Well, me and Pokemon, pretty much. And yeah, I know it's kind of funny. If you're my age, I'm 29. If you're my age, you can relate to the phenomenon that was Pokemon. When it came out, what it did, how it affected society. For me, and the reason why I'm talking about this today is my bulk of memories. You know, the things that I remember the most as a child, all centered around Pokemon. It was such a phenomenon. It was such a new breath of like entertainment for a young kid like me, for the kids around me. It was just so important to us, and it's really good to look back at that. It's really good to think about it and how it reflects on you now, how it reflects on you then, and just the great memories that I have from it. I just have so many. I can remember little this and this and that's about when I was young, and of course, if something important happened that wasn't that, of course I remember that, but just the bulk of things I remember, the great things about my childhood, Pokemon was kind of part of that. And if you're younger, if you're older, maybe if you're a little bit older than me, you might be able to understand, but you really had to be that age, 10, 12, 8, when Pokemon came out to really grasp it. But I can give you a little bit of an insight. So when I was a young kid, everyone loves the social interactions with other kids, going outside, playing, talking with your friends, playing basketball. Recollecting on your childhood memories is so important to me. It means so much to me because it made me the person I am. I enjoy the person I am. I like the person I am. Some people might have damaged childhoods, and I'm sorry if you never had a good childhood growing up. I'm sorry if you weren't able to be a kid. That is very, very, very important. But for me, I think about it just so much. I won't say like every single day, but I just love those memories. I love those things that are like embedded in my brain. Something that, I'll never forget. It's not hazy. I remember it just like it was yesterday, because it was so empowering. It was so like, just as a kid, it was just amazing. So when I was a kid, Pokemon came out. And the reason why Pokemon resonates with young kids is because the story sets it up. It's hey, there's this world where young kids go out, they train, they work hard to be the very best. They want to catch as many Pokemon as they can, gotta catch them all to be the very best. It was just, to a kid, it's just like this fantasy world, this thing that you wanted to be so real that you lost yourself in. This is before, everyone reads, but as you get older, you can appreciate a good book. You can appreciate how it captures you inside this world, and you feel it and you experience it as a child. This was the equivalent to that, if not even more. I got to experience this. I got to watch the cartoons. I got to collect the cards. I got to play the games. So many different types of medium that, for me, it was a rush. It was just the music, the CD I had. It was just at the time, of course, it was just having a good time. But as I get older, I realize how important that was to me. So when it came out, Pokemon launched. Its biggest revenue, its biggest thing that resonated with kids was this card game. Now, before this, and unfortunately, it's that really caused his downfall. Sports cards were big, fairly big in the late 80s, early 90s. The idea of it is you buy cards, random cards, socially interact people, trade them. So, Pokemon took that and blasted into the atmosphere. Like they just shot out. It was one of the smartest marketing moves. This philosophy was you got to catch them all. There's so many Pokemon out the gate. I think the original 150, to a kid, it's like, 150 of these cards, and then clearly there was more variations of the cards, but to a kid, it's just like, I want to see them. I want them. I want as many as possible. I want the rare ones. I want, and, I'm going to trade. I'm going to save them my money to buy the cards. It was just like a rush, you got to catch them all. You got to get them. And, the cards were everything. The cards were everywhere. The cards were in schools. The cards were, kids were trying to get them at Walmart, trying to steal them at Walmart. I'd raise my hand to that because I used to go to Walmart and try to steal Pokemon cards. I'm sorry. Hey, I learned my lesson, right? But it was just so much as a child to just walk outside and literally, like every single friend I had, male or female, had cards. And every day you'd run outside and you look what I got, look at this card I got, or your friend's like, well, I got this card, and it's just like, oh wow, I've never seen that. Oh, that card's super rare, like, I'll trade you for it, I'll trade you this and that. Just that social interaction with another kid, like that just crazy experiment, taking the sports cards and you say, hey, let's do Pokemon cards, let's put them in random packs, and then kids get random ones and they trade the same ones they have or trade for different ones. It's just a never-ending circle. We add more Pokemon, we add more cards. It's just a never-ending circle because you want more. You want as many as possible. You want to get the rarest ones. You're never going to get you're never going to get certain cards and be like, okay, I'm done. I have all the cards I want. As a kid, you're just like, I gotta catch, I gotta get them all. So, I like to talk about this to a lot of people. Everyone has a defining moment in their life, and of course, maybe I might have a more defining moment. One defining moment is when I had my first son. First son, I'm saying like I got multiple kids. I only have one kid, so my first son, that was a great moment for me. And the other one before that, the really defining moment in my life is when I got a certain Pokemon card. And it sounds really silly, but it is still one of the greatest things in my life that ever happened to me. It is, to me, it's so important. As a kid, if you know anything about the Pokemon lore, if you grew up with it, you know that Charizard was the card. Charizard was the coolest Pokemon. Charizard was the one card every kid on the block wanted. It was a fantasy, it was unreal whenever you got to see one, or just it was just, you wanted it so bad. It was like a diamond. It was like the world's most expensive card. It was like the rarest thing on the planet to a child. Nothing else mattered but a Charizard card. So I didn't live with my father, so every year my father would send me money for Christmas. And I'll go out to Walmart and spend it, and buy all the toys I wanted or whatever. So my father sent me I think every year was like $100. This year he sent less. It was like $60, $60 or $70. So I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, it's not, it's less money, being a little ungrateful as a kid. But And I went to Walmart. I live literally right next to Walmart. Like, you have the fence of my apartment complex, and Walmart is 30 seconds away, literally. So hopped over the fence, went to Walmart. And this is when they started putting Pokemon cards behind the counter, because kids just kept trying to steal them. Kids wanted them so bad. Teenagers would try to steal them and sell them. Like, it was bananas. I can't even explain to you how Pokemon was. But everyone knows how popular it is now. But as a kid in that generation, it exploded. The revenue they made, the games they sold, it was insane. So at this time, they started to put the cards behind the counter. And I was just a little rinky-dink kid. I knew who they were because I remember I maybe bought a pack a week ago. I saved whatever money I had. And so I knew where they were. I walked up to the counter. And the lady... I don't know. I don't think I was counting right or something. I don't think I was counting tax. That was a big thing. So I walked up to the lady and I was like, "Hey, can I get some Pokemon cards?" And she's like, "Yeah, how many you want?" And then I was like, 30 or something, some outrageous number or something, 40. And she's like, she's like, "Really? How many do you want?" And I was like, "Yeah, give me that much. I got money for it, Christmas money. Like, I want that many." And she's like, "You sure?" Like, I'm pretty sure she asked for proof or something like that, because she didn't want to waste her time counting out like 30 packs of cards or some shit. So once she saw that I had a gift card or whatever, she started counting them out, and clearly I was way off my retarded ass because I wouldn't count taxes, but I was still a lot. I think it was like 25 packs or something like that. Something crazy like that. So, I took the money, I bought the cards, and man, and I think about it now, that was some risky ass shit. Like, the neighborhood I used to live in, like, if anyone saw me with that many cards in a bag, I would have got jumped or something. Luckily, I lived, like I said, right behind it. My apartment was like the first apartment you hit, jumping back over the fence. So I took all those cards. I took my huge bag of a huge Walmart bag of Pokemon cards. And again, I'll never forget, when we walk into the house, my mom's like cooking dinner or something. And she's like, "Hey, what you got there?" And I'm like, this grin on my face. I'm like, "Pokemon cards." And she's like, "Cards?" And she's like, I show her the Pokemon cards. She's like, "Look at all of them." She's like, how much did you spend on that?" And I'm like, "This much or whatever." And she's like, "You spent all your Christmas money." And I was like, "Yeah, what's the problem?" "On cards." And I was like, yeah. Like, it was like, it was an important investment. Like, I was like, these are Pokemon cards, Mom, honestly. And she was like, "Tonio, you spent all your money on cards." And I was like, "Yeah." Like, what's the problem? At this point, I know my mom, she wants to beat my ass. I just see it on her face. But she can't. I mean, it's my Christmas money. She's thoroughly upset, but she can't do anything about it. It's my Christmas money. So she's like, just go. So I'm like, all right, or whatever. So I go in my room. I don't know, lock the door. I don't know why. It looks like it was some type of treasure I didn't want anyone to see. Lock my door. And the first thing in my mind is, wouldn't it be funny if I got a Charizard? Wouldn't that be funny? I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if I got a Charizard? So I'm opening up the cards. I'm getting some good cards. I'm getting a Blastoise. I'm getting Venusaur. I'm getting this. I'm getting that. And maybe I'm like more than halfway through, just a little bit. I'm opening them, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, okay, Charizard is just so hard to get. You're not gonna get it. Like, it's probably not even in that store. I have maybe like 10 packs left or something. And I open one pack, and there that bad boy is. First edition holographic Charizard. I fucking lost it. I lost it. I thought this was a dream. I thought this was... I'm literally said this is the greatest day of my life. Me as a little young kid, this is the greatest day of my life. lost it. I was like, I was shaking. I was like, this can't be real. So immediately, you know, I don't think I opened the rest of the cards. You know, I had to show off. I had to. I was like, let me just go. Let me go outside right now. You know, let me show these kids. It's a little late, but I was like, there's still time to, you know, to show off. So, you know, I walk outside and I'm like, hey guys, what cards you guys got? You got some new cards? I'm like, oh yeah, I got this Chansey, you know, I got this Jigglypuff thing. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, I guess. And they're like, hey, you got any new cards? I'm like, do I? So I take it out. I'm like, I got, you know, Blastoise. I got a Venusaur. And they're like, oh my god, I got this. I got this, and this. Oh, and I got this. And they're all in a circle and they all fucking lose it. Everybody goes bananas. They're just wilding out. They're like, oh my god. Like, everybody, like, I'm the king of the playground. I'm the boss of this shit. I was just like, that's right, motherfuckers. Look at me, respect me. Like, it is just that feeling of like just ultimate power. Like, this is a card. That day I'll never forget, man. I'll never forget it. Everybody knew me. Everybody knew my name. I had the Charizard. I had the Charizard on the block, you know. I don't think I've ever had a feeling like that ever. You know, of course, you know, like my son being, that's a totally different feeling. My son being born, the sense of like carrying on life, you know, carrying on my, legacy, like my name. That's a different feeling. But this feeling of just ultimate empowerment, just like a ultimate like respect or something, you know. It was just, it just energized me. This is from a card. This is a card. Pokemon has done so much, you know. Even when we had the video game, Pokemon came out on the Game Boy. God, I sink so many hours into that bad boy. So many hours I'd be in the backseat of my mom's car. And, you know, the Game Boy didn't have a backlight. So I'd hold it up to the window to try to get a glimpse of the game as the streetlights passed, you know. I'd be in a gym battle. I was like, I gotta finish this gym battle. You couldn't wait, you know. Even if I have it saved or anything, I had to play it. I had to get the next Pokemon. I had to collect them all. I had to. It's such an addicting formula, you know. Waking up Saturday morning and watching Pokemon, you know, watching Ash defeat the next person. It's like, look, friendship and training hard will get you what you want. And just like, it was just like, yeah, Ash, like, you just felt that you connected with this character. It was exciting. It was just so invigorating. It was just, you know, they launched on so many different mediums. Everything I had was Pokemon. The TV I watched Pokemon. The shirts, I had this, I'll never forget, I had this Pokemon CD. Actually, that's a lie. I still have that Pokemon CD. It is, to me, the greatest album ever made. As a child, I listened to that CD back and forth, back to back. Every day I popped that bad boy in. And Pokemon rap, to this day, I still know the original 150 Pokemon rap. Do you have a feeling like that? Think about it. Do you have such a recollection of something so important that resonates you throughout the years, that defines you as a person, that ultimate feeling? You might have something where, you know, a special memory, something happened, but just that feeling as a kid, you know, it's like the equivalent of winning a lottery as an adult. Like, it is just, and I think about it, and I just, man, like, So many people think about, I wish I was a kid again. I don't wish I was a kid again. I wish I can just, like spend a day with the memories I still have right now. Like, I don't know, just in the body when I was a kid. Just spend a day, just relax. We're so easy to get caught up in today's the stresses of today. We're so easy to get caught up in relationship problems and bills and so many things. So it's always simple. Thinking back as you were a kid, you didn't have all that problem. So everyone loves that feeling, Just that idea of just being young and free and just having fun in life. You weren't expecting anything. Like you weren't expected to be anything at that point. You didn't have anyone depending on you at that point. You just had to sit back and enjoy life, Wake up, go to school, get your homework done. Never wanted to do homework. You just wanted to go out, get my homework done. I run outside. Hey guys, what are we doing today? What cards you got? What's this? What's the deal? What's chilling out by the monkey bars? Chilling out on the electrical green block or whatever. Man, I think about it so much and how great it was riding our bikes around. Being a kid was everything. And those memories I had with Pokemon alongside of that launched that into the stratosphere, man. I had to get the cards. I had to play the games. I had to watch the show. I had to. It was just a amazing marketing scheme at that time. Amazing marketing scheme. And throughout the years, you get older and, you don't do as much. You stop collecting the cards. You stop watching the show. You stop playing the game. And you just think back and it's like, man, you just think about where it stopped. When did I start thinking differently? I just wish I could go back. There was a really good fan-made commercial about the newest Pokemon game, and I swear I shedded a tear watching it because it starts off as this guy. He's in his office, he's doing his work, he's just going by day to day. You see him take out his credit card, start paying bills online. You see him at night just reading a book or something, and he turns his night off and goes to sleep. It's just a typical day for him. Drive to the office, pay bills, and go home, go to sleep. And then he passes by a window with the new Pokemon game, and then he starts, thinking about his childhood, thinking about him playing Pokemon. And like the part where it got me was when he was playing the Game Boy, and the Game Boy didn't have a backlight on it, so he's using a flashlight to play it in the dark. And I was like, man, that's like me. That's me. And he looks at it, and he, eventually ends up buying it. And it's just like, it says, "You have evolved, so have we," or something. And it's like, fuck, dude, that hits home hard. I just love the aspect of it. I still have all my cards. Time and time, I'll take it out, I'll dust off the binder, and I'll look at it, and I'll just be like, it just all comes rushing back to me. I love this. I still love this so much. And I have a lot to thank to Pokemon, for making my childhood great. Making parts of my childhood just memories that will always stay with me. Thank you, Pokemon. It's different now, and there's so many different things, and games are different, and cars are different, and all that's different, which, that's typical of anything. That time changes everything. But I just watch kids with their games and watch kids with their cards, and I'm just like, man, thinking back to my childhood, I had a good time. I had a really good time. So yeah. There's no really purpose behind or any statement I'm trying to put here. Something that I really enjoyed. it's really good to think back on memories. Memories always stay with you. It only takes something to trigger them. Those staples are what defines us as people, defines us as adults. Social interactions with people, just having fun, define me as the adult I am today. So I have a lot of respect for what Pokemon did for me. But in any case, if you listen to my podcast, you listen to the last one I made. That was a little edgy, but in the end, I'm talking about pushing forward with different podcasts and stuff like that. I'm still gonna do this one, but that's a lie. I'm not gonna say very soon. The stuff I got going on, I will eventually try to push for another podcast, maybe another 2 podcasts. We'll see. I got a lot of ideas swimming, man. Starting a Patreon, starting some exclusive content for people who subscribe to my Patreon. I haven't set it up yet. When I do, I'll let people know. I got pushed for stuff to be on Spotify and Apple Music. I might have to refine my audio and all that stuff too to get it approved. But I mean, it's a lot I want to do. Like my ultimate goal is to make some type of part-time job, maybe a full-time job out of doing something like this, creating content online for a lot of things I want to do. I want to push into like video game type of media. It's something I'm very passionate about and something I'm good at talking about, at least. And I want to make something out of that. This came along because I'm working at my job. I'm just like, I make good money, but man, I work long hours. I want to do something I like. And that's when I started listening to other people's and their podcasts and ideas of what they do, and they're enjoying themselves. So I'm like, man, I gotta get motivated to do this more, to put this stuff out, to put my content on different things, get my word out there, get my voice out there. And I'm thinking about setting it up with other people, because the group discussion works fantastic. I could sit here and talk about one thing all day, but when you really start to get other people's ideas and have their ideas clash and reflect off each other, that's when it really gets good. So I'm also thinking about moving to scripted chocolate cake episodes. The only problem with that, it might take me a long time to do a script. That's the thing. I like jumping in and just doing it, but I miss a lot of stuff. I go back and listen to on my podcast, and I miss a lot of stuff I want to say, and that's a problem. And stuff I want to really dig deep into, I scathe over really quick. So I read a script. I wrote a script for one a while back, and it sounded really good, and I liked it. Unfortunately, I didn't finish it. It was a very short script, and knowing a script takes like at least an hour in itself, and just editing it, honestly, it's just laziness, and just really, I might move to a scripted format, because I do have a lot of things to say. But yeah, that was episode 11 of Chocolate Cake. If you have any ideas you want to shoot me, let me know on Facebook. I'll post this to my YouTube, on Spreaker. I gotta see if I can get it again. I gotta see if I can get it through Spotify and Apple Music or whatever the fuck it is. But that's gonna take a little bit of time and approval. So yeah. And I like to end the podcast with a quote, and this is a really good one. I like this a lot. Unfortunately, I don't know who said it, but it says, "Whoever is trying to bring you down is already below you." So think about that. And don't let nobody bring you down fucking anyway. Do your thing. But yeah, have a good day, people.